Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we're here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue, bringing you some adoptable animals that you may find of interest, but also that you may pass on to friends who are looking to adopt. And our first guest is a beautiful Berman or Ragdoll cat. She came to us as a stray from Middletown. She has beautiful blue eyes. And we were unable to find her owners, if you can believe that. Usually when people have cats that are this unusual looking and beautiful, then it's very easy to match them up with lost reports if they're looking. But we were not able to find her owner, and so she is available for adoption, and we're calling her Kate. We have estimated her age to be 6 or 7. But I hesitate to say that with stray animals because when we're trying to find an owner, it's very easy for an owner to say, oh, my cat's not that old, so it can't be her, or my cat's much older, so it can't be her. We make an estimated guess using our veterinarians' expertise and our animal care technicians' expertise. So it can be really hard. I have had 2 different veterinarians judging the age of a German Shepherd. One said he was between 3 and 4, and the other said he had to be over 7. So these are experts using the best information that they have, and they can agree that widely. So this little kitty is looking for a new home. She's very beautiful, and we suspect pretty well cared for. Her fur wasn't matted, and Randy has placed her on our Facebook page, and we've made our best efforts to get the news out there that we have her. And yeah, we believe she's already been spayed, so definitely someone's pet. We just weren't able to find them, or they weren't able to find her, or aren't able to come get her. So she needs a home, and she has everything going for her. She's beautiful. She doesn't mind being brushed. She eats when she has company. She sits on laps of strangers very agreeably. So I think she's going to make somebody very happy. If you are interested in Kate, come by the shelter and meet her. Our next guest is Cora, and as many of you know, we color code our cats here blue, orange, and green, and blue cats are the friendly, easy to handle lap cats that have lots of experience with people, and Cora is one of those. She came to us as a stray, and we estimated her age also 5 to 7 years. I just wanted to check our estimates to make sure I'm telling you what our vet believes to the best of her ability. And of course, that means a couple of things. Her real name isn't Cora. We don't know her real name because she came to us as a stray. And her real age is also unknown to us. But we do the best we can to share those facts with you as we can glean them. But what we can share with you is how easy she is to handle. And our volunteers will tell you when you come in to see her, she's a real doll. She likes people of all ages, and is always interested in coming out of her cage. And one of the nice things about coming to this shelter for adoption is if you come on Wednesday or Thursday night when we're open until 8, you'll meet many of the volunteers who come in and handle the cats and the dogs very, very often. So they know them, and they can tell you the kinds of foods they like, the kinds of toys they respond to. I don't know if you can see her, what she's doing with her paws, but that's a very affectionate behavior. And I just think she's a delightful little cat, and she's going to make somebody very happy. One of the things that we get to do working here is meet so many different animals from so many different backgrounds. And it is always delightful when you meet one that just has this joy to be with people. And domesticated animals, a lot of them are just like that. That's why we have them as pets, That's why they make such wonderful companions. But every time we get one that has that special interest in people, it's very fun to care for them and nice to get to know them. She, as Cora is making biscuits on Randy's knees, I think he's becoming aware that it might be time to trim her nails.
She's not much bigger than a kitten.
Yeah, Randy just commented she's pretty tiny, so she doesn't weigh a thing. And she has beautiful little markings as well. I think she just realized that we have cat treats on the table. So I'll see if she wants some of those. But if you think that Cora might make a nice addition to your family or to the family of someone that you know, then come in and meet her, or you can pass her Pet Finder profile around and see if we can make a match for her and get her out of the shelter. Our next guest is Gus, and Gus is a beautiful, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but his gray coat is very richly colored and very plush, very pretty cat. And Gus does have a birthday coming up on August 1st, and he is looking for to find a new home by his first birthday. And we think that we can find him that. One of the things that most people know about the shelter is that when we put cats on the adoption floor, we don't have a particular time limit by which they have to be adopted. So as long as it takes for us to find the right match for him, we will take that time. What that means is that we have some cats that end up moved from their small cages into the larger kitty cabana, where they can walk around and mix in with other cats. Not every cat dreams of that, of being loose with a bunch of cats he or she doesn't know, but some of our cats do really well. And as some of you know, Vivian was here since January and was just adopted from the kitty cabana.
Come on, guys, you're not going nowhere.
And now we have a couple more cats in there, including Ike, who is still there since March. He's been with us. So Gus came to us just a very short couple of weeks ago, and it would be really great to get him out of here by August 1, his birthday, as I said. And as you can see, because he is not 1 year old yet, he still has the kittenish energy. So it can be a nice thing to get a cat when they're still young enough that whatever family you provide for them, they will accept. And Randy is saying he's a little hard to corral, so
he's shaking a little bit.
He said he's shaking a little bit, so he's a little nervous about doing this. As you might imagine, he's not even 1 year old yet, and he's in a strange place with strange people talking about things. So sometimes when cats come in and adjust to their cage, people imagine that it's hard on the cat to be in a cage, but actually cats feel pretty secure when they know what's going to happen when this kind of stuff worries them. Oh, he said, Randy says now he's purring, so he's a friendly cat. He just isn't very experienced because he's a young guy.
I'll do your mama thing here, see if that helps.
Our next guest is Tori.
Oh, you're so cute.
And Tori is a very petite little black and white cat with longish fur. And I'm checking on her age for you. We have estimated that she is 2 years old, and she's really tiny. I don't know if you can tell from her sitting on Randy's lap, but in Frederick we have a wild cat population that ranges anywhere from 6-pound adults all the way to like 12 and 13-pound adults. So there's quite the range of sizes, and because she's 2 and this little, she's always going to be tiny. And sometimes people like long-haired cats because they are not as common as the short-haired cats, something different. But something that you should definitely know about that is that you'll have to get her used to being brushed. She likes it now when the volunteers offer it, and she doesn't have any mats or anything like that, so she takes good care of her fur. But sometimes people worry that a long-haired cat will shed more than a short-haired cat, and as I've said many times, it's not true. They all shed depending on their diet, the photo period during the day, how much they're brushed, and it has nothing to do with whether they have long or short hair. So this little girl is going to make somebody a very nice companion, And she was a little nervous when she came in here, afraid to come out of her box, but Randy said when he took her out of her cage to begin with, she was really happy to jump out. So sometimes we underestimate how important it is for tiny animals like this to know that they're safe. And when you take a cat from a cage where she's been fed and has toys and blankets and affection from staff and volunteers and bring her into a strange room that's echoey with strange people and new lights, you can definitely expect her to be a little worried about what's going to happen here. And especially for cats who have come to the shelter, because we often get cats who may have never been in a carrier except to go to the vet or the day they came here. So it can be a little overwhelming for them to be placed in a carrier, brought to a different room, because at other times when that occurred, it was a pretty shocking outcome. So I really appreciate all the cats that do let us bring them out to Randy's lap for the TV show, because we may think of it as not a big deal at all. She's massaging Randy's legs with her nails. It is very affectionate when cats do that on you, but of course, because she has her toenails, it hurts a little bit. But I really do appreciate all the cats that let us bring them onto the TV show, because for us, it's not a big deal to go to some office and sit in some comfortable chair and talk to people. But for tiny animals that have the risk of being eaten by larger animals, the world is a really different place. So the cats that let us totally disrupt their morning routine and bring them in here to meet you are really doing a brave thing, braver than you might think. So I think that she's going to make someone a lovely companion, and if you think you know someone who might like her, then you can share her Pet Finder profile or encourage them to come to the shelter and meet her. Our next guest is Polly, and Polly and I know each other pretty well because she went to Ashley Furniture with me last weekend, and we spent the whole day, Leanne and I, with Bunny a Bird and Polly, letting people know about the shelter. And Polly has a unique feature of extra toes, which is an inherited trait in cats, and makes her little mittens pretty cute. She had a couple of siblings that went through our foster care program with her, who have since been adopted. And now she is in a group of other kittens and ready for adoption of her own. One of the things people wait for every year is our kitten season. We certainly don't look forward to it in the aspect that there are so many animals for us to help. But of course, we do enjoy caring for the kittens and finding them homes and talking to people about spaying and neutering and the programs here in the county that you can use if you are interested in adopting a cat that you find as a stray. And our foster program, which is fantastic. We have, I recently checked with Linda how many homes she has helping her out, and she said there are over 60 foster homes that take in moms and kittens, baby kittens, bottle-fed kittens. Okay. The door slammed, so she got scared. And they, out of the goodness of their heart, take these little kittens into their home and raise them up so that they can get big enough to have their shots and get prepared for adoption here at the shelter. And we are happy to offer them to people looking for kittens. Sometimes people say, well, I feel like I should get an adult cat even though I really want a kitten, because it might be harder for the adults to find homes. During kitten season, it is true that the kittens find homes more quickly. However, we get over 1,000 kittens between April and October, and I know I say that constantly, but the volume of kittens that come through here is pretty remarkable. So if you want a kitten, we absolutely recommend that you wait for kitten season, which is now, and have the kitten of your dreams. And I think Polly could be that for someone. She is a cute, friendly, outgoing little kitten who is just, and also pretty, everything someone would want if they're looking for a pet. So we are going to take a short break, and we'll be back with some adoptable dogs at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center.
The most important piece of equipment in your home is your smoke alarm, and it is probably the easiest and cheapest to maintain. Keep your family safe this year with regular smoke alarm checkups. Regularly check the batteries and perform periodic testing. For more information about smoke alarm safety and maintenance, visit the Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Services website at frederickcountymd.gov/smoke alarms.
Please like Frederick County MD on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at FrederickCOMD to get the latest information on actions by the Board of County Commissioners, emergency notifications, department events, programs and services, and links to online resources. Frederick County government has thousands of followers on Twitter and likes on Facebook. In addition to the county website at www.frederickcountymd.gov, and FCG-TV, cable channel 19, social media is one more way we keep our citizens and visitors informed and involved in the actions of Frederick County government.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
We are back with Hammer, our coonhound. And Hammer is such a sweet dog. He is 2 to 3 years old. And he has absolutely no manners whatsoever. And I shouldn't really say that because look at him. He's not jumping on Randy. He's not being rude or pushy. But he is an untrained dog who needs to learn how to walk on a leash and to sit when you ask him to and things like that. But he is certainly willing to do all of that. And a very gentle-natured dog, but also typical of a lot of hounds. He is nervous of new things. For example, he's not the least bit afraid of the camera, which I thought he would be. The first time that a tour of children came through the kennel, he was so afraid he ran in the back of his cage. But now we've had 3 or 4 more tours. He comes up to the front, wagging his tail. So I guess what I would like to say about Hammer is that he has no training, but he's a really quick study. He likes people, he wants to know what people like, and he's willing to try things. So I think he's gonna make somebody a really nice dog, but that somebody will have to understand that he has the knowledge of a puppy in a 3-year-old package. So if you think, Randy just said he's handsome, which is absolutely true. If you think that Hammer would make a nice, he's gonna pee on your chair, would make a nice addition to your family, then we will talk to you about house training, about fixing that problem. And the way we do it is we have him, have you keep him on a leash in the house for 3 days and reward him with food for going to the bathroom outside. He doesn't know that he'll be rewarded for going to the bathroom outside, and he doesn't know that it is not acceptable for him to go inside. And some people are really daunted by the house training chore, and I would say I feel exactly the opposite. You can't make a dog like people. You can't make a dog sweet and gentle with people. Hammer comes with that. That's the part you can't put in. But house training, very easy to explain, and we'll tell you how to do it. Least of your worries if you're up for that challenge. So if you think that Hammer would make a nice addition to your family, let us know, because he's really a good boy.
Is he already neutered?
Our next guest is Sean, and Sean is a lovely dog. He is used to children. He's already house trained. He was crate trained as a puppy. He has everything going for him. He doesn't pull on the leash. He doesn't jump on people. This is a great dog. When he was dropped off, he brought with him his little 3-year-old human friend, and she was holding his leash, climbing on him, bonking him inadvertently with the leash, and he was a doll about it. So this is a some kind of bully breed mix, and Sometimes that gives you trouble with landlords and whatnot. But everyone who has dealt with Sean here in the shelter has been very impressed by his people skills. So this is a wonderful dog, and I think it's going to make somebody very happy. And this is the kind of thing that's hard for us at the shelter because he's very nondescript, just a plain black and white, medium size, medium coat, medium attitude, medium energy level, everything. But he's actually, and middle-aged, yes, on top of everything else. But he's got everything to offer a family because he already knows it all. So Sean is a great dog that's going to make it easy on somebody who's trying to integrate a dog into their family. And often it's hard to tell from the outside of a dog what they're going to have to offer, and that's why we share everything with you, all of his experience and all of his medical information, so that you can make easy decisions about what dog's going to be right for your family. Clearly, he loves a massage too. So if you're interested in Sean, just come down to the shelter and meet him and see what you think. Bring the whole family, because I think he'll impress you. He loves everyone. We are back with our little cattle dog mix. This little dog came to us as a stray, and she is, she's whining a little bit. She's a little nervous. So she came to us as a stray, but we did not find her family. So if you know of anyone who is missing their little Kelpie or cattle dog type of dog, then you can help us get the word out. Oh, sweetie. Yeah. So I think she's a little scared, and sometimes for dogs that come in as strays, we don't know if she lived on a farm and isn't used to being in a kennel, but she's done really well here. And we're calling her Jessie, even though we don't know her real name, and we are looking for a home for her. She's a perfect size of a dog. She pulls a little bit on the leash, but not too much. She doesn't jump on people. And I haven't known her to whine like she is here. In the time that she's been here, she's been pretty adaptable and friendly. So I think she's a little bit more scared with this close quarters and camera than she was with the other things that we've done with her. And mostly what happens to dogs in the shelter is they're medically checked out and given some shots, and then they are treated to a lot of walks and play with volunteers, and she's done really well with that. But she's a little nervous about this, and that is typical of working dogs, is that when they need to sit still in a strange place, they can be a little anxious because they want to do and be and work and investigate things. So Jessie, as we're calling her, is available for adoption, and we will share everything we know about her with you if you are interested in her. And I think the best thing to do is come to the shelter and take her out and walk around the grounds and play with her with a volunteer and see what she's like. And I think you'll really like her. Our next guest is Debo, and Debo is a gorgeous, big chocolate boy, and he's a little shy. He came in with another dog, and he's used to kids, so he has lots of great experience, doesn't pull too much on the leash, but I don't know if you can see, he's a really big, big dog, and he's trembling from this. He's leaning on Randy for reassurance. Sometimes it is surprising to me that big, strong dogs like this can be overwhelmed by simple things. So Debo has some great people skills because he likes people and doesn't pull on the leash, doesn't jump on people. But he's going to need an owner who's going to take him out and about gradually and let him see things like umbrellas and wheelchairs and things that might be scary. And I'm kind of trying to talk low so I don't make it harder on him. And he does really well in the kennel. When you approach the kennel, he wags his tail and he comes forward. So he's not always scared. He's just a little worried about this. And one of the things that we can do at the animal shelter now, which is great, is that there was a time when the number of animals coming into the shelter were so many that dogs that were nervous or had training problems might not be able to be adopted from the shelter, and their only option would be rescue. But now it is possible for us to help dogs like this by sharing all of their needs with you. And we find that people in Frederick are very generous and willing to take a secondhand dog who has lost his family. And a lot of times people ask me, will they get attached to a new family? And the answer is absolutely yes. Dogs know that they need to be with someone to survive. Unlike cats, cats know they can take care of themselves. Dogs know that they need friends to survive, so they're very willing to take on new friends as soon as they know who they might be. So if you think that you can help Debo through the loss of his family, which apparently has affected him a lot, then you're going to be the right person to come in, meet him, and take him home, let him start over, and see that the world is not so scary and that there are not just one group of nice family, but that there are many, and that he's going to have another one. We are back with Diesel, and Diesel is a 6-month-old German Shepherd dog. And as we do with all puppies, we're going to take 4 applications and make the best match. Because raising a large breed dog is a big commitment, because there are only a few short months before his size is going to be a determining factor in what you can and can't make him do. So in the next couple of months, he'll need to learn things like not to jump on people and smack them in the chest, not to take whatever toys he wants, and not to climb on tables and walk on chairs and disrupt carpeting. But in the meantime, that's all stuff that puppies do normally so that they can learn what the boundaries are. And as you can see, when he's given a toy and some supervision, he does settle right in. And believe me, Randy would take him home if he could. He has a very similar dog at home, Pepper, that he adopted from us several years ago. And he can tell you that it takes a couple of months to turn this beautiful puppy into what Pepper is today. And Randy takes his dog Pepper all around Frederick. The kids in the neighborhood all know his dog. And that is exactly what Diesel can be in the future with the proper guidance.
What'd you find?
He also happens to be
He's the German Shepherd. See him
really
often?
handsome. Yeah, and Randy pointed out, he's got to use his mouth on everything. So he is gentle now and needs to be kept that way, just with the experience of learning what people like. One of the things that you can use is toys to teach him to be gentle with his mouth. Sometimes people say that there are risks in playing tug of war with dogs, and there are. But the risks of playing tug of war is not setting boundaries. Tug of war is a great way to teach a puppy boundaries, because if they like the game, then they can only play the game if they respect certain restrictions, such as...
Come here.
So Randy said he was reading on the German Shepherd pages that German Shepherds only bark when they need something. Well, that might be true, but puppies always need something. So he's going to need some guidance, just like Randy did, to break him of getting into a habit of barking and demanding what he wants, that he needs to know sitting to get what he wants is much more considered appropriate by humans. Thank you for joining us on Pet Pals. And we will have many more animals for you next week. I hope you join us again.
Good boy.
And as always, you can help us out by sharing this link at the bottom of the screen with this episode of Pet Pals with anyone that you think might be interested, as well as going to petfinder.com and sharing the profiles of some of the pets you've seen today.